take a walk and have a look and buy something. Am I like a cultural and tourism chief?
From the end of 24, the global trend of China Go has emerged. More and more foreign tourists choose to consume in China, and from June 1st, 2025, the stay time for China transit visa-free will be further extended to 240 hours. More and more foreign tourists have discovered, besides delicious food and fun, shopping in China is too small. For example, a random camera equipment we produce, if sold in China, it may cost about 4,000 yuan. It may cost nearly $1,000 abroad. This doesn't include tariffs or freight, not including freight and so on. And when shopping in China, now more and more stores have posted tax-free signs. That is to say, when foreign tourists shop in the store, they can directly apply for tax refunds on site. The general tax refund rate are 11% and 8%. This is equivalent to, on the basis of being cheaper than shopping abroad, you can enjoy an additional discount. China's package delivery for our own Chinese business. What kind of role does it play in our business?
This is a very positive effect. It can be said that the point of Made in China makes China's demographic dividend has completely reached the time to reap the fruits. In fact, the point of Made in China, we have been on this path for over 40 years. This is not a particularly new thing. Before that, the 4 Asian tigers followed this path. As for the phenomenon you asked today, once occurred in Japan, I still call it the demographic dividend because China is a large country with resources. The most difficult resource to form among them is the population due to China's large population base, which leads to the low cost of manufacturing. There's a core content, of course. There is another particularly important factor. Large population, it also forms an internal consumption market. That is to say, with a population of over 1 billion on the one hand, and the region can also drive the supply. It forms a low-cost manufacturing market. This manufacturing market, China has cultivated for many years. It's not easy at all. Currently, it can be said that there are dividends, including Trump, the tariff turmoil. I've talked about it in previous videos. He can't do it and can't do it because of China's current demographic dividend, has formed a manufacturing advantage that is too strong.
Because now, if they usually come to buy, are concentrated on chargers, drones, and VR glasses and other electronic products. But we have been going global in various types of business. Does that mean that we can pause our overseas expansion content or focus on the domestic market?
This will promote going global, which means we attract others to China. They know China is far more than commodities. They travel to China to learn about, of course, there is a knowledge point in travel, which is shopping to learn more about Chinese humanities and familiar with China. This point, which accelerates their acceptance of Made in China. Let me put it this way. That is, they come here to learn about China. I still want to emphasize, especially in Europe and America, have a very low level of understanding of China. For ordinary people, the current situation of China is still poor, backward and closed, and still stuck in the past. Only someone like Kangfin can spread some positive information about China to spread out. It's really amazing and shocking and shock. Understanding the gap is really very big because we need to know that the pace of life abroad is very slow, especially in the past 40 years. China has made rapid progress in recent, but for many foreigners in Europe and America has almost stagnated. Life has not changed much in the past 40 years. We can understand it this way. In this case, if we can let others know about us, in the past 40 years in China, the most obvious achievement is cities. More than 90% of Europeans and Americans have never seen such cities. Not just one city, but dozens or even hundreds of such cities. They have to admit that. China has taken a different path, has completely taken a different path. Let's not emphasize advance, which is a matter of opinion, but at least they are high-density cities. It's completely different from Europe and America. If you could only see 1 or 2 in Japan before, Tokyo and Osaka. Today you can see in China more than a dozen, and dozens of cities like this. If they can come to China to learn about these, China's going global will be much smoother after that. Attention. The 3 flows of going abroad, logistics and cash flow are all solved. Attention. There is also all purchases will be achieved after these 3 flows will be formed. That is, they need to have a correct understanding. And this correct view should not be limited to products. They need to accept a camera made in China if he wants to know Chinese culture, as long as the camera is good. He can't form this understanding. The information is not enough. His brain can't process the information of a good camera, There must be a Chinese person behind it. So it's very valuable to come. Today, our cultural and tourism bureaus are working hard. Currently, we are mainly competing for internal tourists. This is also because China has a large population. At the same time, we will increasingly international competitiveness, which makes more and more foreigners want to come to China to have a look and buy some things. Am I like a cultural and tourism director? Right? When they know China, they will absorb Chinese things in batches. Specifically, in terms of places, the most easily accessible are Beijing, Shanghai, and Xi'an. These are the places that exist in the foreign mind, in the minds of most Europeans and Americans. I guess there are only these three cities. Where is China? Beijing and Walking has a Shanghai. Shanghai is because many of their previous generation. And their grandparents knew Shanghai. Then there is Xi'an. Xi'an was the Tang dynasty. I have indeed seen foreigners who, and children, know Chinese cities, only know Xi'an. They don't even know Shanghai and Beijing. These three cities have a head start, but some cities have great advantages, such as Guangzhou, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong, such as Chongqing and Chengdu. They have a huge advantage that they haven't seen. Once they come, they will be shocked. So these cities should do more to attracting foreign tourists, not just to compete for domestic tourists. Let's talk about foreign tourists. We are willing. They just come to buy an electronic product because of the price, but after they go back, they may accept it. Chinese refrigerator, Chinese washing machine, Chinese rice cookers, even Chinese decoration materials, Chinese floor tiles, and Chinese walls after returning because he has absorbed Chinese culture and are willing to accept more made in China products. So this is not an impact on going global. Instead, it promotes going global.